I am not used to not working. I mean, it's something that's ingrained in me.
Harry Thompson has been unemployed for over a year.
You start to think you're not of any value to anybody. And when I start to feel like that, I feel like I got to get out of the house and do something.
After 21 years of experience, 2 college degrees, Thompson became one of 68,000 manufacturing workers in New Jersey who have been let go since 2007.
It gets you down for a couple of days, maybe a week, but then you realize that, you're not going to do yourself any favors by getting all upset and depressed.
You can't give up. You got to keep hanging in there. I'm a firm believer that you got to keep trying.
These 2 men represent nearly 4 million Americans who are considered long-term unemployed, out of work for 6 months or longer. Nearly half the jobless in New Jersey fall into this category, one of the highest rates in the country.
The impact goes deep into their family. Families are suffering when people are out of work. There's a lot of emotional stress. There's a lot of relationships that are damaged.
Thompson now attends Neighbors Helping Neighbors, a weekly counseling session for the unemployed to share leads on jobs.
The job search effort that you have to put in today is intensive, and you really need to have a check-in point every week to see how you're doing.
But the longer you're out of the workforce, the harder it is to get back in. According to a recent study, a person unemployed for 8 months or more will get contacted for an interview about half as much as someone who's been unemployed for just 1 month.
Where's the management training done?
Today, Thompson is hopeful. After attending this jobs fair in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, one company invited him for a follow-up interview. We'll check back in with him in the next few weeks to see how it went.
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I really am.
Zane Asher, CNN, River Edge, New Jersey.
Shalom. First of all, I'd like to start off by giving all great honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. The belongings that teaches others in the apostle of great millstone, like watch brothers put on this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding sheep and new brothers and sisters doing in Shalom. Today's lesson is titled The Coming New Slave, aka Esau Trade, Work Guaranteed. Now, you saw in that opening clip, mostly Edomites. In fact, they're all Edomites, okay? Some of them look like those kikes over there in the phony state of Israel, but here in Great Babylon, America, you can see where, these people held positions and they can't get work and all of that stuff. But you know what? We have good news for you Edomites, okay? You are going to be constantly working in the kingdom of heaven. In fact, let's go into the book of Jeremiah 49 and starting with verse 12, it reads, For thus said the Lord Yahweh Shai, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. And what's that cup? That cup of judgments that the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to put on you Edomites. Now, the rest of the tribes on this earth, they're going to get it too, but specifically you Edomites, you're going to really, really get it. In fact, you're going to get it double to what you gave to us. So just imagine how bad it's going to be for you. In fact, let's go to Proverbs 11 and verse 1. It reads, A false balance is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh Shai, but a just weight is his delight. The Lord loves, he loves justice, and this is justice, when we now in the future, just like how we reading in the past of the Atlantic slave trade, we know the Arabs, you were involved too, but you're going to get yours too. But let's talk about you Edomites, let's focus, because you seem to want to work. You're very diligent about working, constantly working, but let's see how you're going to like, working for us in the future, because the Lord Yahweh Shai, when he sent his only begotten son, the Mashiach, to destroy this wicked empire, and set up the heavenly kingdom, there's going to be work, lots of work, and you can see, the kind of work that you're going to be doing, Esau, I have this plan for you so that you have a visual concept of what you can expect. In fact, let's go into Revelation 13 and 10. It reads, He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patient fate of the saints. Who are the saints? The men that you see out in the highway and the byway, sighing and crying. Who in this YouTube or these platforms or these social media platforms, sighing and crying, of the horrific things that you have done to us, what you're currently doing to us, and what you intend to do to us. But see, the Lord Yahweh got something for you, and it's not going to be good. Now, you got the data centers going up. You have 6G coming out. You're going to bring out the mark of the beast, and that's going to lead into World War III. Okay. And you gonna have everybody, poor and, depending on you as usual, but just when you start to feel like you've got everything going for you, it's going to change, okay? Because see, you're really prideful, okay? And, the thing that goes into you Edomite's heart, okay? And we're talking about you elites here. It's you elites we're gonna start off with, not these poor small Joe out there that, trying to eke a living, okay? It's you elites, okay? The kings of the earth right now, the gods of the earth right now, okay? Because we're soon Obadiah 1 and 3. Y'all ask the question, who can bring me down, okay? Because you're so prideful, you've got SpaceX going, public, next month, with their $1 trillion IPO. I mean, you people really believe that you've got it made, but let's see what happens here in the scripture. It reads, this is Job 20 and verse 22. It reads, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, power shall cast the fury of his rod upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him true. So, you're so wicked, you're going to be making a slave of your own people, okay? These same desperate people, out here today that are kind of coming to terms that, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, that white privilege thing, maybe that was just an hallucination. Indeed it was, okay? It was an hallucination, okay? Because you people right now, what you're experiencing is this. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. It reads, and the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, that power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Every Edomite I see walking out there, I know you hate me. It's just as simple. You can say, I have a black friend. Well, guess what? That's good for you because I'm not black, so I don't know who friend that is that you have. All right? But it's a natural thing for you Edomites to hate the children of Israel. See, pursuant to Genesis 27 and 41, Esau hated Jacob. There is no love between us, okay? And that's all there is to it. So you are what this scripture is speaking about. Those curses now upon you at the low level, of course. Okay, because I just read in Job 20, verse 22 about your kings, okay, your higher level elites, okay, the people that are ruling things who don't give a crap about you, okay, they gonna enslave you on this side a little bit, and rule over you and persecute you. Really, what their target is really us, the children of Israel, so-called blacks and Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics. But you're going to be caught up in that because why? Pursuant to Deuteronomy 30 and 7, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has put those curses on you. Now, as I said, after the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai sent his only begotten Son to destroy this wicked kingdom, okay, then start that slave trade that's going to go on, okay? And Deuteronomy 28 and 68 describes, what happened to us, except instead of ships on water, it's going to be ships in the air, which y'all call or term it as UFOs. They're chariots, of course. And this is what's going to be the case here. It says, and the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spoke unto thee. This is us. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you. No one's going to save you. Okay, y'all gonna be sold to these other tribes, and you can see the map. The map is showing you, I put the little map up there for you, I created that. And just so you can get an idea and have, a visual of where this is going to go. Because, we're going to come down and we're going to dig out those holes and those, bunkers that you think you're going to hide from, your impending judgment. Okay, which is going to be what? Slavery. Okay, look, Esau. The kingdom of heaven is going to be busy, okay? It's going to be busy. It's going to be unlike anything we could begin to imagine. We can't even begin to imagine, okay? So you have a slave trade, and you guys are going to be it, man. You're going to be basically the end thing that people are going to be looking to get their hands on. In fact, let's go to Isaiah 14 and verse 2. It reads, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and house of Israel shall possess them in the land that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Who's our oppressor? You Edomites, you so-called white people, not you low-level white people. Don't get in your head that you're some special. Okay, you're those haters, okay? That's getting your judgment early on pursuant to Deuteronomy 30:7. Okay, so, but you're going to be out there too. Like, as you can see, the brother, I have in this AI clip that I created, it's two Edomites, out there beside him. That isn't to say something but you dug on, so-called black women or Latino, Hispanic women out there, or any you other tribe women out there. I just happen to just put the Edomite women up there, because really that's the only use they're going to be for the men of Yasharallah is, booty call, pretty much at the will of the men. Okay, let's go into Revelation 18 and starting verse 6 read, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works in the cup which she had filled to her double. Beatings, torture, stompings, I mean, you name it, we're going to do it to you. Except it's going to be on a God level, so you can't begin to imagine, oh, well, the scripture actually gives an imaginary view, okay, or give you a visual, I should say, of what this is going to be, because, I mean, you Edomites, oh, wow, because see, these elites, boy, woo-wee, I mean, it's going to be really rough for you. The first batch of slaves, woo. Let's close over the book of Luke 16 and start verse 22, and it came to pass that the beggar died, which is the children of Israel, okay, representing, Lazarus represented the children of Israel in this, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died, representing the Edomites, okay, the elites, okay, and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. So he's in torments. We said, we're going to give to you double. You can't even begin to imagine what we're going to do to you, Edomites, okay? So on top of the fact that you're going to be traded and, you're going to be a hot commodity, as slaves, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to beat the crap out of you and torture you, okay? That's going to be a fun activity, so to speak, Maybe we might fly you up to an orbit and just drop you out there, let you float and suffocate to death, radiation kill you. I mean, all kinds of things, and bring you back to life again. Who knows? It says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. It ain't gonna happen. Not happening. For I'm tormented in this flame. It's not a literal flame. It's just a fact that we're just going to abuse you. We're going to abuse you. We're going to abuse you, Edomites, so bad. Okay, we're going to abuse you. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, okay, things that we haven't even seen. Imagine what the Lord is going to reveal to us when he returns, as to what this man really have done to us. So there's not going to be any type of compassion in our heart for you Edomites, okay? You're going to be dealt with so harsh. Whew. But now he's comforted and thou art tormented. So you are going to be tormented, okay? Guaranteed work for 1,000 years. Okay, you're going to be working. You're going to work. It's guaranteed. And it's the coming new slave, aka Esau trade. We're going to trade you Edomites, you so-called white people. And that is guaranteed to happen. Lord willing, let us edify. Let's close by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Shalom.